It's really important, especially when we talk about engaging with the community. You can't engage with the community till you listen to the community. And oftentimes when we talk about engaging, that's where we want to jump first, is let's do something instead of listening.
Yeah, so we start with our strategy. Like, this is how I'm going to get into the community, but we haven't taken the time to ask the community, what do you need?
Yeah, because I think otherwise what happens is you come in with your formulas. This is what we're going to do. This is what's going to help. And if we're not listening, one, we're not able to be creative in how we do mission, because oftentimes the most creative ministries that you've seen and creative mission ideas that you've seen actually came from the simple task of listening to the community and figuring out how to apply the gospel.
Honestly, when I came to the Houston area to start a church, I had a whole different idea of how I was going to plant a church. And remember, I was going to plant a church. But when I let the Holy Spirit guide and I listened to the community, I realized that my idea wasn't what the community needed. And so it sent us on a whole different path that has been far better and far greater than anything that I could have ever done or imagined.
Yeah, it's kind of interesting. It's like the Spirit calls you in. It says, as you go, as you are going, share the gospel. And sometimes that feels daunting. But what you realize when you start listening to the community is the Spirit is sharing with you the things you need to be able to share the gospel with that community. It's not an accident that you're in the places that you live or work or learn or play. God has brought you to those places. And when you begin to put on that missional lens and realize, well, I'm not here by accident. The Spirit has me here. So what is it the Spirit wants me to do? When we begin to listen, what you're going to begin to see is that people will pop up. So we'll talk about that concept in the person of peace, and the community will start to show you some of the good things that are there, some of the broken things that are there, some of the redeemable things, but you can't see any of those things without really listening in to what the community is trying to share with you.
Yeah, and what you'll start seeing these gospel opportunities. If you take the time to listen, you'll see the gospel opportunities that have been there the whole time. You just didn't see them because you weren't listening. And so we really have three concepts. We say you have to listen, listen, listen. And first, you listen more than you talk. So hear people out. Don't be the one always telling them what's going on. Listen to what's on their heart. Listen to who they are. And then you listen to learn, not to respond. So when you first start to meet people or start doing this, if you're listening so that you can respond and refute what they're saying or teach them the truth, well, you're actually going to break the relationship before you even get a chance to respond. Response can come later, and it comes in once they've learned to trust you. And then listen to show them that you care. Actually, I learned this from Matt back when we were working at The Point. Someone would come up to Matt and talk to him about some of the craziest stuff. Like, I'm not going to get into the detail because the person that was talking to him about this could at some point see this video. But it was something that was really like way outside of the box of anything that I know Matt would be interested in or that I'm interested in. But they were talking to him about it, and Matt was like, man, that is so awesome. Like, it was the coolest thing in the world. And I was watching this play out, like, I don't know how in the world he's so engaged in this topic. And so afterwards I asked Matt, so how in the world could you be so interested in what they were talking about? And he said, well, I really wasn't interested in what they were talking about. I was interested in the person that was talking. And so listen, listen, listen. Listen more than you talk. Listen to learn, not to respond, and listen to show them that you care.
And I know, you're probably taking this because you're like, I want to learn to share the gospel. And so when are you going to show me how to actually share the gospel with somebody? Well, a really important thing to understand is the more you get to know somebody, the more they want to get to know you. And so in listening to your community, it's the same way. The more you get to know your community, the more your community is open to getting to know you. And so don't think of this as like the quick thing you're going to do till you have like a little one sheet of paper that tells you everything you need. No, this is a rhythm that you're going to get into and then you're going to come back to. So you're going to listen to your community, and then you're able to engage with your community, and you're going to go back to listening to your community and engaging. And so it's a back and forth rhythm, but it always needs to begin with listening. So as you go through these modules, keep that in mind. This is going to help you become a better active listener of your community and of the people around you, and it'll probably reveal some insights into why God has you in that place to share the gospel.
Yeah, because listening to someone shows them that you care. It builds trust. And when you build trust, that's when you start to see the opportunities to share the gospel.
So as you're going through this module, make sure you're trying these things as you do them. This might be a module you go through a little bit slower, but walk through it and try it. And then as you're trying it, as you get ready to step into your cohort or whoever you're processing this with, to be able to say, okay, here's what I learned from listening, and here are my challenges when it comes to listening. So check out these modules, start walking through them. Don't forget to walk through the Discovery Bible Study first, and start learning how to listen to your community.